Hey folks, welcome to episode 8 of Behind the Play, a video series where I take a look at all things related to CSGO tactics and strategy. And in this video, I wanted to take a look at the idea of attacking Pit on Inferno. Now, I know I did a video not so long ago looking at just initial play on Inferno, but that really just focused on the basics, more on defaults and just some of the first things we were seeing on the map. But this time I want to get very specific and just simply look at how people are attacking the Pit on Inferno from the Terra side, ranging from very simplistic attacks to more complex maneuvers. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, one of the most basic ways of attacking Pit is just getting apartments control and receiving a pop flash from middle and then just attacking into balcony and Pit that way. This is just an example of Gambit running it at DreamHack Masters against Fnatic, though it doesn't really work out that well in this particular example, but you get my point. Just grouping up players in apartments, getting a pop flash and pushing into the Pit. And this is something that just goes way back, even to Counter-Strike Source when Existence was doing this with varied games. And pretty much every team you've seen play Inferno on this new edition has run this play on the T side at some point or another, with just a simple pop flash over the side building and spilling out of the balcony. Now, the new version of Inferno has basically just allowed a new way to do the exact same thing, as you see Guardian actually lining up some flashes from inside the apartments to do the exact same Pit attack, but just without all of the flashes coming from middle to do so. So now it's time to look at a more complex way to hit Pit on Inferno, and to do so we're going to be looking at an example from Misfits being led by Sean Gares as they were playing against Immortals for the StarLadder I-League Season 3 qualification. Now, I also showed a play just like this from North whenever they were playing against Gambit actually at DreamHack Masters Las Vegas. So if you want to see how all of these smokes are thrown and how all the utility comes into play, I will link that in the description below. That way you can see how to actually run this play if you want to throw it into your own playbook for your team or something like that and just want to see how everything lines up. But I wanted to show that this play is being used by multiple teams, and so this is just another example of it being used. And I think it's only fitting to show it from a team that is being led by Sean Gares, because he actually ran a play just like this on the original Inferno way back at DreamHack Winter 2013, back when he was leading the original Complexity lineup at the first ever major, where they actually beat Very Games in the group stage in a very close game. And this is one of the plays he used to get a round against Very Games on the T side. And I actually talked to Sean Gares about this play, and he informed me that the way he learned it was actually by watching a team by the name of Universal Soldiers from Poland. Now, if that name doesn't sound familiar to you, it will when I say that it's the same exact lineup you see today on Virtus.Pro. Universal Soldiers is one of the first names they went by after they left ESC Icebox before they became Virtus.Pro, and they were playing with guys like Stacks and Bialy even back then when they were Universal Soldiers. And so Sean Gares actually saw them run this play, and then he brought it out in a major, in a huge situation, to be in the first major and to advance in the group stages. And so you're basically seeing that play, even from 4 years ago, being used today on the current version. So basically what happens is you have this smoke wall. Again, you can watch how it's lined up on a video, a link on the description below when North was running this. And it just builds this wall that Twist is going to be able to creep through and actually get around and try to attack FNX, who's going to not be suspecting someone to be sneaking around, basically, or at least that's the initial plan. Now, if you're looking at the North example from DreamHack Masters Las Vegas, it's going to be AZ who's doing this, but he does it by himself. The actual difference between when North ran it in the video that you can see in the description below, is that you have a second player inside of the apartments, which is going to be Sick, and he's going to be able to come out later after Twist has, either succeeded or failed, and he's going to be able to do a secondary hit from the balcony that isn't going to be expected. It is going to be able to have a bigger impact. So just wanted to kind of show that now, so let's get into it. So here you can see Twist sneaking out through the wall. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually wrap around the cutoff in the wall where you normally would see the attack come from, so FNX gets him. But the cool thing is that Sick is still waiting, and he's actually going to come out later and catch FNX off guard, and so the Pit attack is still going to work. Though I think the original intention was for Twist to actually push through this hole, which would have blindsided FNX, and that's really how this play is supposed to unfold. But it definitely works for Misfits in this round. Again, thanks to having a second player coming late out the balcony balcony to catch FNX off guard inside the pit. Again, if you want to see how this is done in more detail, check out the example description below, as North ran this with AZ at DreamHack Masters Las Vegas. So there you have it. Just a quick look at how teams can attack pit on Inferno, ranging from simplistic pop flash setups to more complex smoke walls and being a little bit more sneaky and trying to blindside people who are defending the area of the map. Obviously, pit can be in a very important position on the map to control. It really helps you leverage the situation over on the A side of the map and be able to have better ways to have a foundation, a launching pad to actually attack into the site. Now, of course, there's other ways that you can go about attacking A. Some people just block off pit with smokes and just kind of put it to the side and really focus on attacking the site directly. And of course, what I didn't show in this video is how you can just use a single player to put pressure on the pit. Look at how Shox plays the apartments on G2, or how Simple plays the apartments on the current Na'Vi lineup as I'm recording this video. And you can see how even a solo man who's a great playmaker can put pressure on pit alone by just peeking from the balcony by himself and perhaps finding picks and openings, or at least holding people in place while maybe the focus is somewhere else on the map. So yeah, I just hope that you folks enjoyed this video and got something out of it and kind of saw how you can attack pit in different ways on the map of Inferno, as of course it's now here to stay in the map pool for now, and a lot of people will be interested to see how this map further develops. And as those developments happen, I'll be looking to make more behind the play episodes on Inferno, as I hope we see some new innovative stuff coming out soon. A lot of this stuff is something that has been around on old versions of Inferno and even old versions of Counter-Strike. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time.